Okay, great, thanks. I want to bring up Dan Stevens. He's the president of Worker Bee, and Christine Diedrich. She's the director of Multimedia and Publishing for the Society of Petroleum Engineers. And they're going to talk about how you can print money and make $500,000. So come on up, guys, and you can use the podium or a mic. Okay, great. Great. Yeah, that one's forward. That one's back. Okay. Forward, back.
Forward, backward. I got it.
All right.
All right. Clicker. Okay. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Christine Diedrich. I'm the director of Multimedia and Publishing at the Society of Petroleum Engineers. This is a brief look at our agenda, and just as a brief introduction about SPE, we are an association of approximately 120,000 members, both students and professionals, in over 140 countries that are engaged in the exploration, production of oil and gas and related resources. We provide in-person, online events, training, publications, member programs, as many of you do. And in our department, Multimedia and Publishing, we provide books, journals, magazines, a multi-publisher content aggregator, webinars, and this presentation shares what has quickly become a very important part of our program, a video platform called Energy Stream. So I'm going to walk you through our collaboration with Worker Bee TV to add this to our online event portfolio. First, why did we want a transformation? Before COVID, 70% of our non-dues revenue was from our 80+ in-person events that we held annually. And to be totally honest, this profit subsidized all of our other programs and products. It was just our revenue model. So then COVID hit, and we were like, what do we do? This is 80 events that are really our revenue stream as we go through the year, and they were gone. And of course, we had a rainy day investment, but this is one of those rainy days, as you all know, we were all in these exact same shoes. It just did not go away. So we wanted a digital transformation, and we wanted it now, and we wanted to rethink our business models, and we wanted to do that now. So what we decided is we wanted live stream and on-demand content to be the new way that we attract and engage audiences and generate sponsorship revenue, like our in-person events we're doing. And here we are post-COVID, events are back, clearly, we're very grateful. And we now have this great platform that is growing and expanding and thriving. And to be totally honest, our in-person events are still at a decline in attendance, whereas our digital content attendance is very much at an incline. So we needed a plan. Our goal, again, was to develop live and on-stream multimedia programs that would generate engagement and revenue, as well as reach underserved markets, hopefully some markets that we weren't reaching with our live events, such as, students and geographically speaking. We also wanted to simplify our content creation and our delivery experience. We wanted to engage corporate sponsors and content marketing and with thought leadership opportunities. And we wanted to be able to measure all this engagement and measure this financial performance. We also wanted a really strong brand that we could use, and we wanted to be able to quickly rinse and repeat what worked well, but we wanted to also be able to pivot fast what failed. Last, we wanted really strong and solid analytics and feedback from our stakeholders to plan and shift around in the future. And we also wanted to provide those same stakeholders real value around this service in the form of analytics, as well as lead generation and industry leadership, the same as they were getting from our in-person events. So we had a 2-year plan. COVID hits in 2020. This plan talks about 2021 and 2022. In preparation, we reviewed our audience. We created a content strategy and a calendar. We explored how to monetize our product. We pretty quickly realized that a sponsorship way of doing this was our best bet. We didn't want people to pay to come to our events. We wanted to attract members and non-members equally. So we allocated resources, we found the right technologies, namely working with Worker Bee TV and also aligning our other tools such as our AMS and our marketing software. And we developed really solid branding with great and catchy titles like Energy Stream. Our platform has such a cool name. It works really well. And within Energy Stream, we have some products with equally catchy names like Tech Talks and SP Live and Energy in 3. And we have a calendar to consistently develop and roll out each of these products so people don't forget about them. We also wanted to define and track performance indicators and to ensure that we were also publicizing and could kind of track who was paying attention to what we were doing. We wanted to reach, again, members and non-members in a way that made it really easy for them to attend and engage in our content. And we continuously do this, and we're continuously monitoring our efforts. We're always looking at our resources and our staffing, and we're balancing this with our delivery experience for both our audience and our sponsors, as well as ensuring that our content is meeting our association's mission. This is a snapshot of the platform that we put together. You can see it's really visually appealing. On the left-hand side, there's navigation where you can find anything you're looking for by topic or keyword. You can also find things by what's trending, upcoming topic, or by content. We spotlight popular content at the top. You can see that's a snapshot of one of our featured webinars. And below that are rotating carousels of upcoming and current content by program. We have quick links back to our association homepage, as well as other important resources. And we have the opportunity to sell ads and promote in-house ads on this platform. We also have a subscribe button here where you can link to our newsletter and see all of our upcoming events. And again, these are also all promoted on LinkedIn with a weekly calendar of what's coming up next. This is a snapshot of the 3 programs that we launched our program with, our platform. And I'm going to focus on the middle one, Tech Talks, because it is by and large our most successful product. Tech Talks are always sponsored, and the sponsor always gets to pick the topic and the speaker. However, SPE always has oversight, and we always pick the moderator. The format is always conversational in style and is always 30 minutes long. It's also always on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it is always live streamed on the platform and on LinkedIn, where we can facilitate a lot of engagement and questions, and then it's on demand on the platform afterwards. Again, when it's live streamed, the audience can post comments and questions that will be answered real time in that same presentation. There's never a charge to attend, again, because sponsorship is our revenue model. On the other side, you see sponsored webinars. These are very similar to Tech Talks, only they're 60 minutes in length, and they're more of a presentation format. And I'll be honest, these are not selling anywhere near our Tech Talks. On the other side, you'll see SP Live. These also mirror our Tech Talks, but the main difference is that they are never sponsored. We wanted a format where we really were talking about emerging trends and breaking industry news as determined by our members and our staff. Other than that, they very much mirror our Tech Talks. And I want to just we talk about the revenue that this product came up with, and here's a way to go as an example. For many months in 2023, we have almost been sold out for all of 2024 for Tech Talks, and these are held twice a week. And we also just had our annual conference this month in October. It's a 3-day conference, and we sold 7 in-person Tech Talks. And this is a really cool concept. So whereas people are usually attending these at home on their computer, we have a big stage right outside of our exhibit hall where you can come and watch this happen real time. So it's creating a lot of energy right outside the exhibit hall. It's driving traffic into the exhibit hall. There's real comfy seating. You can come and go as you please. You can hold your phone in your hand and watch it live stream while you're standing there and asking questions to the moderator and the speaker. As a matter of fact, we had exhibitors coming out of the exhibit hall saying, "What is that? How do I get one of those?" And so not only did we line up an impromptu additional Tech Talk at our conference, but we have these industry sponsors lined up now for next year. This is a snapshot of our product results. Again, it was a 2-year program. If you think about that investment and return S-curve, the first year, there's a lot of investment. You don't see a lot of return, but we really saw that S-curve as you would want to imagine it, with a lot of return our second year. In fact, we saw a 355% increase in our revenue from our inaugural year, which again is why we're talking about this in the form of the revenue that it made. Not only that, the engagement was really great. We had 1,500 average views per episode throughout last year, and in 2023, those numbers are very consistent and growing. We have about 80 live engagements every time this is live streamed. Again, in 2023, these numbers are the same, if not growing, showing that this is really a solid product that we can depend on. You can also see a snapshot of the top 10 countries that are watching this live stream. On the next slide, you can see our top 10 countries that are watching it on demand. It's a little bit of a shift. But you can also see we have about 40,000 users from almost 200 countries engaging in this content. Arguably, we kind of succeeded what we were trying to do as far as meet or beat our in-person events. To me, though, the most important part of this slide is the age groups. As associations, we are always trying to reach that 45 and under member. If you look at these percentages, that's exactly who this content is reaching. So our key learnings, we wanted a new way to attract and engage audiences, generate sponsorship revenue, create member value, both for our individual and our corporate partners, and we accomplished that. And we did it by some key learnings. Again, we learned we really need a constant and consistent production and publication schedule, so there's always new content. There's never a gap in what we're doing. We can plan topics, speakers, and sponsors really seamlessly. And recently, we've been mixing it up a little bit. We've been looking at ways to add, to tie in some of our published article content with this medium as a way to continuously balance and grow how we're integrating this platform into our overall educational delivery. Again, this was all done just 2 years ago with a lot of data, a lot of planning, and a fairly significant leap of faith on behalf of our association and everyone who came together to plan it. And so now we have a staff of 5 full-time employees who work on this project, and their work hasn't gone unnoticed. In 22 and 23, our multimedia team has been a Crystal Award winner with the American Marketing Association, a Viday Award winner of Video Excellence, and a Gold Hermes Award winner. So what's next for SPE? We're continuously working to monetize our products and make it easy for sponsors to support the education that we're putting out. We've also come up with some new products in the last 2 years that we'd like to monetize. Now that in-person events are back, we do event highlights and we house them on this platform. Basically, we're just continuously working to grow our synchronous and asynchronous learning and house it all in one place where people can really reach it anytime from anywhere. In fact, we're working on our LMS content integration right now, again, with Worker Bee TV, to move all of our webinars and training courses onto this platform so we have some e-commerce. And again, we couldn't have done any of it without really fabulous partners in Worker Bee TV who have come in and helped kind of pave the way to allow us to do all that. And with that, I'll pass the floor to Dan.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Anybody else need $500,000? So just bear with me for a second. I'd love everyone to just close their eyes for just 1 second. And I'd like you, while your eyes are closed, to just imagine the best conference you've ever been at. Imagine the experience, the education, the networking, the fun, the offsites. Now keep your eyes closed and imagine that same conference if you deducted sponsorship, advertising, and event revenue. Would it look the same? How many would look the same? Nobody's put their hand up. SPE has taken that same mindset to their website. Your events are getting 5 to 20% of your members. Your digital platform is your opportunity to not only hit 100% of your members, but it is your recruitment opportunity for young people. And we're all stretched for time. We're all stretched for money by leveraging the Tech Talk model, just one program of many, which now is expanding. They were able to raise $500,000 of non-dues revenue. But the other thing is, that was about, just think of all of the great content that got shared by coordinating, nicely controlling sponsors into a format that can work for everybody. So you're building up your content, you're truly becoming the brand that is informing and educating and inspiring your community at the same time as you're funding that in a continuous circle. So I'm going to spend just a few minutes and talk about this big need. We need digital engagement in order to optimize digital revenue. But when we start seeking revenue, it forces us to elevate our game. How many TV shows would have sponsorship and advertising on them if the show was crappy? Right? And so it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what typically prevents digital optimization falls into these categories. Is it content quality? And in most cases, it's not necessarily the quality of the content. It just might be the format. It might be too long. It might be too text heavy when people are in a video and audio centric world. Is it the experience? And in most of this issue is, can I find it? Right? And part of the experience is finding it quickly. The member's ability to control their experience once they have found content. Does it automatically help them go deeper on that subject, or do they have to do it on their own? And of course, budget, time and money, which drives that need for sponsorship. So this is what we typically see when we look at websites, right? We see the webinars organized very nicely by date because everyone searches by date. We see the podcasts over in another file. We see all of the courses in the LMS. We see a bunch of microsites for blogs and other things. Videos are sitting on YouTube and making them money instead of you money. And so if you think about it, the person who's coming to find content has to know the medium before they know how to find it, which is just not the way people search. So what we try and do at Worker TV is consolidate that content into one multimedia platform or CMS so that all of your content, regardless of the medium, is easily found and searchable by, not just by date, but by topic and by theme and by author and other categories. And that makes it really easy to search both on-site and also for Google. It makes it really easy to refer content. So if I'm watching a video or I'm reading an article or I'm taking a course, all of the things that are naturally connected are visible to me. And the association can force derived opportunities. Like at the end of this video, we think you should register for this event, or 2 or 3 other things, or download, or take further action, which is all measurable so we can understand if we're having an impact on getting people deeper into that topic and deeper into their love of your association. And as mentioned by Christine, we rely so heavily on our newsletter so much. Wouldn't it be nice if people were self-subscribing to certain channels the way you have your favorite TV channels, your TV shows, so that it just shows up in my DVR, it just shows up same way, it just shows up as an RSS feed without having to worry about the newsletter. So this is just another example of how the platform, we talked a lot with Tech Talks about content marketing and actually making the sponsors part of it, but we can also monetize around your existing editorial content. So here's an example of, banner ads around content. But again, search on the left-hand side is all the menus, easy to find, easy to consume, and easy to act for members. Ad serving, either third-party ad serving if you're using an outside sales service, or inside through the platform if you have your own sales team. And it creates, again, opportunities for content marketing because sponsors are truly the first people to learn about case studies. And you can use them in an effective way and they will pay to play, as was seen. When your content is fragmented and you go, our event revenue is down or our traditional brand advertising sponsorship is down, and you turn to your website, you'll often see something like this. Well, the largest section has maybe 100,000 annual views, and I think I can get an average of 1.5 banners viewed per view. So I've got 150,000 banner impressions to sell. Well, you're not going to generate $500,000 on that. But if you consolidate your blogs and your videos and your webinars and everything, it might look like 70% of your content is in one CMS, serving up to maybe 5 banners per view, 3 deep, which gives you now on that same website up to 10,500,000 banner impressions. That can be monetized. And so no different than you wouldn't have all of the exhibits in your show in different rooms. It wouldn't make sense. You want to consolidate everything into one room. So some quick best practices. Understand what those monetization goals are. As you listen to Christine, she was sharing how they're taking that revenue and they're reinvesting it. And they're reinvesting it into new programs, branded programs. People don't remember they remember the brand. They remember Tech Talks. They remember SPE Live. They remember all these brands. So brand them just like a TV show brands a TV show. So that when you come in and the music and the energy feels, I know that I just shifted from like leaving my news show into my entertainment show. Another monetization goal might be that you're feeling the brunt and need to outperform competition. So much of your competition, especially for the new and younger member, is free. They don't have to pay to find content. Now they have AI to help them with content creation. So how do we become the very best? Well, it means elevating not just the quality, but the mediums and the formats, and coming up with like 3-minute videos like Christine is doing, shorter content, maybe even 30-second and 1-minute shows that really summarize to make it engaging. We like to call it edutainment. You got to entertain while you educate in order to outperform your competitors. That requires a need for money. That requires a need for production. And so if you sponsor it or use pay-per-view or whatever you're using to generate that monetization, then you can fund it. So whether it's sponsorship, which was a natural approach because most people online don't like to pay for non-CE or non-accredited content. We've trained everybody through the web that most content should be free. And so leaning into sponsorship and advertising makes sense unless it is truly accredited or CE content. But even gating your content is a form of monetization. We have set up for some of our clients where the content, I might allow you to watch a video for a certain amount of time and then log in as a member, or I'll allow through my CRM form a guest to come in for that one time. And then now I've captured a lead to turn into a member. But it proves to the member that membership does have its privileges, and it proves to the guest that I'm getting something I normally wouldn't get. If I want more of this and if it's really good, I'm going to have to join. And of course, pay-per-view and subscription are becoming popular models where appropriate. So to end, your competition is funding to elevate content and experience. Are you? And I encourage you to do so. It's a great way to elevate your website, elevate the experience, elevate the stickiness between you and your members, and at the same time, create a real recruitment opportunity for young people, because the first experience they will have with you will be digital. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Any questions for Christine and Dan? Yes.
I have so many questions, but the live streaming that you're doing at the conference, is that during sessions? Is that during the expo hall? And are attendees coming, or is that just for people online?
It's for attendees. So it's really
Okay.
cool. If you attend our conference, you'll get to see this live and in person. And the stage is outside of the exhibit hall again, and outside of the sessions. It does overlap with some sessions, yes. You could make it so it doesn't, but there's enough flow that people are still able to attend.
And do you, is this piece part of a larger sponsorship program that you have, or is it separate completely from?
It's separate. We're selling our Tech Talks individually to our corporate partners.
Okay.
But with a lot of other sponsorship opportunities to buy as well.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Other
And
questions?
Is it revenue share, or how do you get paid?
No, it's not a revenue share, although it's a good question because we do offer this. They're big enough that they can handle a lot of the production and the live streaming on their own. Many associations can't. And so we can turnkey this model for clients who can't, where we can bring the platform, the content planning, working with the sponsors and the moderators to pull it all together. And we can even provide the sales team to sell the sponsorship on a revenue share basis. So we can go as as shallow or as deep. SB is a rather one of our larger organizations we work with, but we work with associations who have 2 staff and up, and obviously they outsource more. Yes.
It's a question for Christine.
Can you talk about how this strategy is integrated with your education strategy? You mentioned that there's an LMS integration component to it. How closely do you work with the education team? And what's that relationship like?
So I'll be honest, we're like some other associations where we can be a little siloed. Our staff is 250. So there is not a ton of integration with our education department, but it is growing. We're getting better at it. So when I mentioned that we're integrating our LMS into this platform, we've kind of adopted that part of our business from our education team so that we can migrate it and kind of bring it together. And we're working with our education team to kind of unsilo and create these kind of opportunities, but it's part of this adventure we're on. And so it's definitely its own thing.
And what they'll have is the LMS is going to spin up in the first quarter of next year. And by being in the same content management system, people can obviously self-select from the menus. But if I'm watching a piece of content or reading or whatever that is related to a course, it will naturally appear to me, as opposed to I had no idea it was there. And if we want to be even more forceful, we can create like a click-through right at the end of that piece of content that goes straight to that course or a bunch of courses or wherever it should land, so that people can go, I enjoyed this micro-learning experience. I do think I want to go further.
Yeah.
Question at the back?
For your users, because you said you're looking to target younger, is the mobile friendliness side to this part of that and what you're tracking with your KPIs? And then also how you're talking about with regards to the suggested upsell, so to speak. Is there like taxonomy or AI that's playing a role in that machine learning?
Go for it.
So great questions. Everything is mobile first, and we can track through the analytics, obviously the device that people came from, so we can see how much of our viewership is desktop versus mobile versus other. And making sure that experience is good. And we are on a global content distribution network, so that if someone's watching that on their phone in 3G in New Zealand, it still doesn't buffer and clog, and so that the experience is still good. On the second part, was
Analytics.
Oh, AI. Yes.
Yeah, the suggested upsell in the program.
Couple of different ways. So the taxonomy of the site is you're forced through a best practices when you upload content, so that all of your content is well tagged. So the referral is natural. I don't have to go and search through the menu anymore. If I'm watching a piece of a video or listening to a podcast or webinar or whatever, I will see related content below. I will see trending content. I will see other featured channel content. But at the end of that content, what we often encourage people to do is put multiple calls to action. So one client that comes to mind, at the end of their videos, almost invariably, you'll see at least one click to the industry annual report. That will have to go through a CRM form. We've created over 700 registrations to get that report, which are generally new member opportunities, because members can just log in and get it. And so there's a predictive plan where we can know, so where did they come from? What did they consume? What did they do next? And how did they engage? We can measure that entire stream so that we can learn from it and understand how to continually improve. The client that I was just sharing about, we've been helping them with create their content and with their platform for about 8 years. So we have a really good history. And so we average, like for every video we produce, the average viewing is 91% of the length of the video. And people go, well, your videos must be great. No, we just understand the audience. We understand how long they're going to stay, and we program accordingly. And I think that's what SPE now is, enough content experience to look and go, hey, that 20 minutes with 10 minutes of Q&A works for in a live format, a little bit of FOMO, and the on-demand is actually getting a significant amount of consumption because of time zones. But 30 minutes doesn't work for every format. You have to really amp up the quality, the branding, the feeling of that show to hold someone's attention for 30 minutes today. So that's why they're also complementing it with 3-minute videos. And so finding that right mix is something that the data can really help you with. As far as AI goes, we're implementing AI into a lot of our content creation processes. And we're looking at integrating AI into helping our clients, for example, when they put a title and a description on a piece of content, maybe having AI look at it and improve it. When you're filling out what taxonomy you're putting this content against, looking at it and making sure that it's complete. So we're experimenting with, I think AI, we're all experimenting with it, is going to have a bigger part in all parts of content creation, distribution, and measurement. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, so Dan, there's a couple of questions from the virtual audience, but I'm only going to take one because we're running up against time. From a technical aspect, is the digital distribution platform part of the website or a different platform?
So our multimedia platform integrates to your website and your brand as a subdomain. And so although it's hosted by us, it just looks like another page on your website. It integrates to your single sign-on, it integrates to your AMS, integrates to any third-party analytics tools like BI or any other deeper analytics. So it just becomes a real simple way for you to go completely multimedia in less than 90 days on brand. And what most clients do, very much like what Christine's has done, is they'll give it a name. Energy Stream is the name of SPE. Others call it, whatever they want to call it. But and it's just a very low cost and low impact way to make sure that you can run, whether you're regional, national, or global, and instantly conform to all of the standards. So if someone's watching from Europe, GDPR automatically kicks in on the cookie policy. If somebody needs, if we need to have transcription on content in multiple languages, it's available. If we, so just making it very, very easy to get there quick. But where all of the attribution of SEO comes back to the association, not to us. Thank you.